Welcome, chess warriors! Today we're diving into the Trompowsky attack, a sneaky, tricky, and downright destructive opening that will leave your opponents questioning their life choices. Forget boring openings. This is fast, aggressive, and perfect for crushing your opponents before they even know what hit them.
The brutal checkmate.
Alright, let's get into it. White starts with d4, a solid move taking control of the center. Black responds with knight f6, developing a piece and keeping things flexible. But here comes the Trompowsky, bishop g5. Instead of the usual stuff, White immediately attacks the knight, putting pressure on Black's position. Black fights back with knight e4, attacking the bishop and saying, "Hey, get out of here." But White isn't scared. h4, White prepares to push that knight away and keep the attack going. Black gets impatient and grabs the bishop with knight takes g5. White happily recaptures with 4h takes g5, opening up the h-file. This is looking dangerous. Black tries to block things up with the s6, but White isn't slowing down. g6. Smashing open Black's king side. Black takes with f takes g6, but now their position is falling apart. White calmly develops with e3, getting ready to bring more pieces into the attack. Black plays bishop e7, hoping to castle and escape. But White has other plans. Bishop d3, pointing straight at the king. Black castling, thinking they're safe. But oh no, rook takes h7 plus a, beautiful rook sacrifice. Black takes the bait. King takes h7, and now it's over. Queen h5, the king is in serious trouble. Black tries to run with king g8, but White keeps attacking. Bishop g6. The bishop joins the party, cutting off the king's escape. Black tries rook f7, but there's no stopping it. Queen h7, king f8, queen h8. Checkmate. The king is trapped. What a brutal finish.
The silent assassin.
Game 2. White starts with the a pawn to d4. Ow. Black responds with the a pawn to d5. Ow. Aiming for a solid center. White plays bishop to g5. Another Trompowsky attack. Black develops the knight with knight to f6. But White changes the approach. Bishop captures knight on f6. A bold choice, trading early. Black recaptures with pawn takes bishop on f6. But now Black's pawn structure is looking a little shaky. White calmly continues with pawn to a3. Preparing to bring out more pieces. Black develops the light-squared bishop with bishop to de6 White, trying to get active. White strikes in the center with pawn to c4, putting pressure on Black's position. Black reinforces the center with pawn to c6. Now White develops the knight. Knight to c3. More pressure in the center. Black decides to take a pawn with pawn captures pawn on c4. But White isn't worried. Bishop captures pawn on c4. Development continues and the position is opening up. White brings out the second knight. Knight to f3. Now White is almost fully developed. Black pins the knight with bishop to g4, trying to slow things down. But White is ready, a pawn to h3. Kicking the bishop away, Black decides to trade. Bishop captures knight on f3, and White happily recaptures with pawn takes bishop on f3. And now the real attack begins. White lines up a deadly attack with rook to g1. The open g file is looking scary. And guess what? Black sees what's coming. And the Trompowsky attack claims another victim. Now what if White continues with knight to f3? Development is complete and the attack is coming. Black plays bishop to g4, but White isn't bothered. Pawn to h3. The bishop is kicked. Black decides to retreat. Bishop to h5, but White strikes back with pawn to g4. The bishop is in trouble. Black tries bishop to g6, but White is relentless. Knight to h4, chasing the bishop down. Black plays knight to d7, but White has a killer idea. Knight captures bishop on g6. Capturing the bishop. Black recaptures pawn, captures knight on g6, but White pushes forward, pawn to h4. Black has no counterplay left. Another dominant Trompowsky win.
The king hunt.
And now the most savage Trompowsky attack of them all. White plays pawn to d4 and black responds with pawn to d5. Here comes bishop to g5. The Trompowsky strikes again. Black tries to push it back with pawn to f6, but white ignores it. Bishop to h4. Black keeps pushing pawns, pawn to g5, but white calmly retreats, bishop to g3. White's queen jumps into the attack with queen to h5, check. The king is in serious trouble. Black plays king to d7, trying to escape, but white keeps up the pressure with knight to c3. Black grabs a knight with knight captures pawn on d4, but white isn't worried. Queenside castling, the king is running out of options. White develops more pieces, bishop to b5, check. The king is getting hunted. Black plays king to a6, but it's too late. White brings another piece, knight to f3. Black takes a pawn. Pawn captures pawn on f3, but here comes the finishing blow. Rook to a1, check. The king is forced into the final trap. And here it is. Bishop to d3, checkmate. The king is completely trapped. What a game. That, my friends, is why the Trompowsky attack is so deadly. Fast, fun, and devastating. Try it out in your own games and let me know how many victims you take down. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep destroying with the Trompowsky.